Let's get it. That's right. CJ Writes. What's happening, people? It's CJ Lloyd Webley, aka CJ Writes, here with another video. So today we're going to be talking about 4 amazing exercises that I think will really help writers to get the ball rolling. It can be quite difficult, as I've mentioned in previous videos, to get that pen to paper, but here are 4 exercises that are really going to help writers to get the ball rolling. So number 1, free writing. Free writing is basically getting yourself a pen or a pencil and just writing whatever comes to your head for maybe 1 minute. It's probably going to be a lot of nonsense and a lot of jargon, but it really gets you flowing and into the groove of writing, that satisfaction of putting something on paper. So another good way to do this is to wake up in the morning and just start writing freely. It's what it says on the tin, really, free writing. So that's just a way to get you in the mindset of being prepared to fail, because a lot of what holds us back as writers is the fact that we don't want to fail. We don't want our writing to be uninteresting. We want people to enjoy it. We want to enjoy reading it ourselves, and we put a lot of pressure on ourselves to make things perfect straight away. So free writing really helps to overcome that initial barrier of putting pen to paper. So the organization that I run, where I go into schools and help young children to get more confident in writing, it's called Write is Right, and it's all about getting pen to paper and getting people confident in writing and just getting things down on paper, because that is the hardest part, I think, or one of the hardest parts of being a writer. It's seeing that blank page and trying to fill it. So if we can build the confidence to start putting things down on paper, eventually something will come from that. And something can sometimes come from free writing itself, because you might write something and think, oh, actually that's quite interesting, I'm going to hold on to that bit and maybe create something off the back of that. Number 2, so let's say you're out and about and you might be on a walk or you might have gone for a run. As soon as you get back in the house or get back into an environment where you can actually sit down and write something, just write what you saw on that journey. Who did you see? Was there anyone interesting? Did you hear anything interesting? Write all of these things down, because part of being a writer is just about being observant and listening to what people say, so that you can then figure out a way to implement that into your work. So whether it's a short story that you're trying to write, a short play, these are all things that could potentially go into the work. So get that pencil out, get that pen out and jot down the things that you see. Maybe you saw a nice tree, you saw some plants and they were nice colours and they were all clustered together. All of these things can be written down. And if you can't necessarily write it down as quickly, or if you're having trouble writing it down, you can always speak into your phone, voice recorder, and then write what you say. That's always a good way to get things down on paper as well. So write what you see, that's step number 2. Number 3, if you can't think of any characters just yet, or you don't know what you want this story to be about, think of a location. So I always mention that around my house, one night there was a massive sinkhole that erupted in the middle of the night on a very busy main road. Now, I think that would be a very interesting place to set a play. Imagine coming into a theatre and seeing a massive sinkhole in the middle of a stage. That would automatically get the audience thinking, what's going on? Because with your work, you always want to get people to start asking questions as soon as they read the first couple of lines. You want them to start asking questions. Okay, who is this person? Why are they here? What is this going to be about? Because if people are asking questions, that means they're intrigued to know the answers. So think of an interesting location. So I've mentioned it could be somewhere with a sinkhole. It could be set on the London Underground. It could be somewhere that's interesting to you. So write down several locations that you could think about your story being set, and that's a good way to get kick-started as well. Another good thing you can try is to answer your own questions. So let's say that it's COVID, because this was something that affected us all. You may have your own questions that you would like to have answered, but you don't know who to ask those questions to. So ask yourself those questions and think about what you think the answers could be to those questions. Whether they're right or wrong is irrelevant, but you're getting things down on paper again and actually starting to get your mind thinking creatively. So if it was about COVID, let's say, okay, why did COVID happen? You might not know the actual scientific reason for that. You might not have done much research on COVID enough to know all of those things, but it's a way of actually getting you to think creatively, because within a story, a lot of the time, particularly a fictional story, we're trying to make sense of the world, and we don't always need to have the answers. We just need to ask lots of questions and eventually find some kind of resolve. So a good thing to do is ask yourself questions and answer your own questions, even if you don't know the answer. It might just be something that you make up. That's a great way to build confidence in moving your narratives forward. So that's it for this episode. I hope you got something from it. If you did, please drop it a like, of course, and also drop a comment if there's anything that you would like me to discuss further that I went into on this video. Please let me know and I'll be sure to do that in another video. Until next time, peace and love. Take care.